Good for you, Chang. I like it. AJ, what are you nervous about Saturday? Are you confident? It is Saturday, isn't it? Are all the games Saturday this week?
Sunday, 4 o'clock.
Sunday. It's going to be Sunday.
Yeah. Okay. Sunday. How you feeling, AJ?
I'm confident. Yeah, our form has been terrible lately, granted. But we should be beating Sheffield United on the last game of the season. We should.
Yeah.
And that's not it. Realistically, we should beat them. If we're not expecting to beat them, then we have to really reconsider where we think we are at the moment. I would like to see him go with the same setup that he did against City. I think if he plays that setup, the same players against Sheffield, I think we absolutely smash them. I really do. I think we'll be too much for them. The only thing that stopped us winning that game against City was our finishing. That's it. If we could finish, we would have been out of sight. We absolutely outplayed them. And for a vast majority of that match, in the first half, we absolutely played them off the pitch. In the second half, for a vast majority of the match, we were the better team. They took their chances, but when they've got Haaland, Foden, and De Bruyne up top, they are going to take chances. We've got a misfiring Son, a guy that can't cross the ball, and Maddison, who's had a disastrous end to the season. They're all well off it at the moment, and if they were sharper, if this had been earlier in the season, we probably would have got the goals. It's just unfortunate that it came down to taking your chances in those moments, standing up and burying the opportunity. And we didn't have the caliber of player to do it. That shouldn't be the same issue against Sheffield United. It shouldn't. Absolutely not. I'd go with the same formation. Absolutely same setup, everything, and go at them. And I would love to see Mikey Moore get back on, because it was so refreshing to see him. He's a kid and he looked like a kid, but he got the ball when he was looking to receive the ball on the half turn. He was always showing, always pulling into space, always wanting the ball. And when he got it, he was driving towards goal. That, the hunger you can't replicate. You can buy talent. You can spend 70, 80, 90, 100 million pounds on superstar talent, but hunger, desire, that want to play for your team, which he clearly has coming through our youth, you can't replicate that. I would love to see. In an ideal world, we should be 3-0 up with 30 minutes to go, maybe 25, and he could come on and get a decent showing, because it's just nice to see, isn't it? It's just nice to see. We should realistically, all things being equal, we should win that game comfortably.
What are you showing me there, Chang? It's a little bit blurry.
So this was the post that Mikey Moore put on his social media, stating that proudest moments of my life. Thank you to everyone who's helped me along the way. And he tags Spurs official with a heart emoji. That was Mikey Moore acknowledging his debut, and also making him, I believe, the youngest Spurs player ever to make his debut for us in the league. So well done to you, Mr. Mikey Moore, for your debut, and also for being the youngest ever Spurs player to take to the pitch in a competitive match.
Yeah, there's a short by Spurs official or Spurs Play. They interviewed Mikey Moore, and there's a short on YouTube. It's about 5 minutes of him being interviewed, and he talks about the words that Chang is saying is what the words that he says in his interview. So it's a really nice interview.
Oh, I'll have to have a watch. Big up to Danny. This is probably the most frustrating thing for me. It's taken for the penultimate game for us to see Ange change his system, put in the players that we've all been wanting to see, like Dragushin, in that position, and to play some youth. But at the same time, in a way, it leaves me a little bit excited, because I thought we was excellent for the majority of the City game, and it bodes well for the new season. But it does make you wonder why he didn't try it before. I mean, Jose, have you got any thoughts on it? Why he hasn't done it before, or do you think it was just that he needed to do it this time?
We can all think what we want to think. He's the manager. They coach these players week in, week out. They know the opponents that are going to be playing against. They know the makeup of the bodies of the players. They know who's in the green zones, the orange zones, the red zones. We don't know all this. We're not privy to all this information. He said quite clearly that he felt the job of a centre back and the job of an inverted fullback are two different jobs and have different strains and different movements in your body that you've got to use, and you've got to use different attributes. He decided not to play them in a couple of games beforehand, but he played it this time against Man City. We dropped 10 yards deeper. I noticed that as well. We dropped 10 yards deeper, and that's probably because we didn't have Van der Ven playing at centre back. We've dropped it 10 yards deeper, and we look more solid. The only thing that I will say about the Sheffield United game is, yeah, I agree with everybody about the setup and that. Like to go into the game with that, but the one player that I wouldn't play in the game, and I'd put another player in for him, Højbjerg.
Yeah,
Højbjerg gave the ball away so many times, and you know, if I had cats, I would have had litters of kittens, litters and litters of kittens every time. Every time he got the ball, it's just like, oh, here comes another litter of kittens, because he just kept giving the ball away. And yeah, I kind of go like that when he gets the ball. So
yeah, me too.
I change it. So whether you bring in Skip into that position, whether he brings in Gio to play in a 3, even bloody Mikey Moore in a 3, just do something different. Don't have him there, because I feel that we would hold the ball more with another player playing there rather than Højbjerg. But setup wise, the way that he's set up, I'd have the same setup. We're pretty much stuck, aren't we? Because we've got no one else to bring into defence. We've got no one else to bring into our front 3 apart from Kulu. But Kulu can play, obviously, in Madison's role as well. So we're kind of forced into where we're going at the moment. But yeah, I'd agree. Play the same setup, because the dropping the 10 yards deeper helped us out.
Yeah, Dan, I hear it, but I think he's just, you know what I think he's done? He's kind of, maybe he's not learning on the job. That's patronising to him, because he's been a manager for years and years, but adapting to the league. Maybe he thought he'd try it, see how it goes, and it's worked. And he's left us all a little bit moist, in my opinion, waiting for the new season. Give us all something to smile about.
The thing is, Kate, is...
Go on, AJ.
The thing is, everyone is looking at and wanting for and striving for perfection, right? Everyone's like, and should do this. This is the best way to do it. He shouldn't make mistakes. He needs to get the system needs to be bang on perfect. We need to play these players, have these players in. It's not a perfect world. Jurgen Klopp, one of the better managers in the league. Pep Guardiola, one of the best managers in the world. They make mistakes. They get things wrong. Conte, that people still wax lyrical, he gets things wrong. Manage everybody. Show me a person that doesn't mess up, doesn't make mistakes, doesn't get things wrong. I'll show you a liar. Right? Yeah. It doesn't happen. People make mistakes. So, has Ange learned? The important thing is, when you make mistakes, you learn from them and you don't repeat them. Has he learned? Has he learned? It would appear he has. Maybe he's come to the realization that actually being so stubborn in my system, not being flexible, doesn't work. Maybe I'll adapt. Maybe I'll give it a go. And guess what? It worked. We were the better team. So moving forwards, if he now takes that and moves forwards, and as Dan said, there was no zonal. They were picking up their mans from set pieces. Guess what? Set pieces weren't so much of an issue. If he is identifying the problems and the issues and he is rectifying them, that's a plus, right? That means he's doing his job and he's made a mistake and he goes, actually, I can do better, rectifying it, and then you progress. So why are we still giving him grief? Why are there still people in the chat saying he's terrible? He's terrible. He's rubbish. He's not rubbish.
Of course he's not rubbish. He's not. You don't win 25 trophies if you're crap. I'm sorry. You just don't. But that's what happens, I'm afraid. Go on, AJ.
No, that was it. That was my point.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Jimbo's internet went. Sorry, Shem. I've got some thank yous to make because it's been a busy show, but lots of thank yous. Massive big up to David Shear for gifting 6 memberships, Lisa for becoming a new member, Rakdos for giving a membership, Leo for being a member for 4 months, Skills for the super chat, both Arsenal fans and Vindaloo. I'm taking all this money and I'm putting it in a pot ready for my therapy. Don't you worry about that. And also Shemtav being a member for 2 months. Please go over and sub to Jose. We're trying to get him up there. Please go over and sub to him. Also, there was a guy in here called the Anfield something. This is Anfield. Here he is. Please go over and sub to him. James, the Tottenham fan, Spurs Between the Lines, Hotspur Hood. Go and sub to everyone because you know that's what it's all about. What's Pete Chambers say? Fair play, Kate. First channel I've seen that reads regular comments. The money grabbing Bella. If I do, I've always done it. Big up, Mr. M. Agreed. But 5 months we was telling him Zonal isn't working. Yeah, no, I don't think it makes you question his skills. I think he was trying to be adamant in his philosophy. This is how I see it. I'm a bit like that. If I really believe in something and it's worked in the past, then I'm going to stick to it for as long as possible. But then you're coming up against arguably the best team in the world, and you sit there and you think, and sometimes you just suddenly think to yourself, do you know what? I might just try something slightly different. And yes, it's took to the second, like the penultimate game, but at least he's done it. Everyone's been crying out for him to change. He tried it. We didn't win, but by God, we give it a bloody good go. So it makes me excited to see what's coming in the future. It really does. I think it's a good time to be a Spurs fan. I think the future's bright. She says. Jose, when can we find you next?
Well, I was going to say to people, if they want to see, I've just put a video up about an hour ago that Ellie took of when we went to her house yesterday. So I met with Ellie and her family, and also met Colin, his wife, his mum, his best mate,
lovely.
His best mate. So Ellie took a video. I think she took a video before they got all before it all went Pete Tong, because I left because I had to get back home. So I left, but they stayed and they carried on and had a really good time. But I took a little video. I've posted it up on Eltel Cockerel. I'll be on today at 4ish. I would have thought to do the predictions reveal for what the scores were for last week. There I am, look, waving away.
Ellie's lovely family.
Yeah.
As well.
And so 4 o'clock today, I'm going to reveal the predictions from last week, and tomorrow I will do the last prediction show of the season because it's calling the last games for Sunday. So they're the next couple of times that I'll be on. And obviously I've got that video in there for people if they want to see me, Colin. There you go. There's his mum there as well, and and Ellie and her family. So yeah. And his wife, there she goes. There's Beth, Colin's wife. So, but yeah, excellent. You can have it. But that's where I'll be. So if anyone wants to give me a follow,
coming on, Jose, as always.
No, thank you.
Mr. Chang, when can we find you next?
So I have nothing planned for the next 24 hours apart from our final preview show tomorrow at noon here on the same channel, and hopefully. If Senor Garcia and Mr. Sievers are up for it, hopefully a final watch along of the season as well on Sunday. Hopefully we get a result against Sheffield United. I would just want to avoid a defeat right now. Really, I cannot bear to even imagine a loss given how everything has gone in the last 24, 48 hours with the whole Manchester City debacle well behind us now. Let's just hope for the best. And after that watch along, we are going to be doing our final final match week review on Monday. Is it going to be at noon?
Yeah.
All right. So it's going to be at noon as well. So those will be my 3 next appearances before maybe. I'm not sure if Queen Ellie is up for doing another Wednesday show. I can understand why she had to skip yesterday, seeing as how Senor Garcia and Mr. Sievers and Mrs. Sievers were visiting her. So that's all good. So yeah, that would be my 3 next appearances on YouTube. Thank you for having me on, Miss Kate.
Thank you as always, Chang. We will be doing shows. Obviously, when the season ends, we still will be doing our shows, but they'll be slightly different. So I am working on that, but I'll keep everyone informed. AJ, thanks again for coming on. I know I've got to give your WhatsApp details to Dan from the Hotspur Hood. I know you're going to go on there, but any other appearances lined up?
No. Just I usually appear on Mia's member show and yours when I get the chance, when I remember and stuff like that. Yeah, Dan and I had a bit of a conflicting opinion, difference of opinion on Alan's show, so he invited me on, and yeah, I'm more than happy to go on and have a chat with the guy.
Excellent. Well, I will be doing another member show next week, which will be like a season review. And I've got Mickey Hazard booked in. I don't know if it's next week or the week after. He's
here
coming
she
on
goes again. Bloody hell,
sorry.
name dropping again.
Sorry, he's incapacitated. He's broken his ankle, so he's on crutches. But he's going to come on and give his view of the season.
Kate, 2 questions about that. A, was he running away from you at the time? B, was he anywhere near stairs?
I refuse to comment. I refuse. I'm not dropping myself in it. But love you, Ellie. But I'm back tonight at 6 on the terrace, and then we're back here tomorrow at 12. So thank you to you three for coming on, to Jimbo, Ellie.
Kate, one more thing. Kate, just one more thing. I usually watch, well, I say usually, I watch the terrace from time to time, and yeah, it's okay, but it's brilliant to have you as a representative for the fan base on there, because of all of the Tottenham fans I've seen on there, you do, and I'm not saying others don't, but of all of them, for me, my opinion, you talk the most sense.
Oh, thank you. It's very kind of you to say so.
Can I just say, Ed, it's just broken. Edison is going to miss the rest of the season. He's got a fractured eye socket.
Yeah, his eye was black, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got a fractured eye socket. It's just been announced now. Man City have just announced he's got a fractured eye socket.
Sugar.
They made the right call. They made the right call bringing him off, definitely.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he didn't want to come off.
No, but he didn't want to come off, did he? So yeah, they've made the right call because he's got a fractured eye socket. So
I will say, Ellie, I spoke. Gary Mabbott's not keen on doing it because this is really sweet, and I really respect him for this. He doesn't like being in the public eye and doing too many interviews because he likes to go about his business quietly. And I said to Mickey, look, I fully respect that. If you don't want to come on, that's absolutely fine. Hopefully, I'll get to meet him and then get a message from him somewhere because he did one at Christmas. So, but yeah, Steve Perryman and Graham Roberts as well. Both of them should be coming on soon. I need to get it sorted. I'm so terrible. I need to get my bum in gear. But yeah, big up to everyone that's come on, and also Ben, Martin Knightsbridge as well. Big up to you both. Have a great afternoon. And yeah, if you're not doing anything tonight at 6, come over to the terrace. If not, we'll see you tomorrow at midday. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.